I am Assistant Professor SV Shedai from Agricultural Engineering Department. In last session we learned about land leveler, then chisel, plow, etc. Okay. This session we will start with cost of operation of the tractor, and this part comes under the lecture number 7 and 8, and some of the practical examples are based on this point. So there are two types of cost under the cost of operation of the tractor. So first one, there is fixed cost, which includes depreciation, interest on the capital, housing cost, taxes, insurance, etc. Okay. And operating cost includes fuels, lubricants, repairs, maintenance, wages, etc. Now question is that why this cost analysis is required? Because under the cost analysis, the cost incurred per hour of the operation of the tool, implement, machine is calculated, okay, by using the different formulas, okay, and this will give an idea of the payback period of the investment, and also this cost services serves as the basis to fix up the higher charges of the implement for custom hiring. Okay, what is meant by custom hiring? Custom hiring, it is the process which involves to give the different types of implements on the basis of rent. Okay, then the total cost of operations, we know that there are two type of cost involves under the cost of operation of the implement, tools or tractor. First one, that is fixed cost, and second one, variable or operating cost. Okay, now what is meant by fixed cost? This cost relate to the machine ownership, okay, and this cost can occur regardless of the whether the machine is used or not, and fixed cost is inversely proportional to the annual use. Okay, then variable cost or operating cost, those costs which are directly related to the amount of use are called as variable cost. Okay, now let's know about calculation of the fixed cost. Under the fixed cost, there is first cost, that is depreciation. It is the loss of value of a machine with the passing of time, or it is the reduction in the value of the machine with the passage of the time. Okay, in the usual situation with the field machine being operated only a few days in a year, then obsolescence is the most important factor affecting on the depreciation. Now what is meant by obsolescence? Obsolescence is the state of being which occurs when a person, object or service is no longer wanted, even though it may be in good working order. Okay, and a machine may become obsolete because of the development of improved models, changes in the farm practices. Okay, now how the depreciation will be calculated? So there is a formula. So here D is equal to C minus S divided by L into H. Okay, now D stands for depreciation cost per hour, then C stands for capital investment, and salvage value, which is taken as a 10% of the capital investment. Okay, now what is meant by salvage value is the estimated value of an asset at the end of its useful life. Okay, and H stands for number of working hours per year. Okay, and L means the life of machine in years. Okay, now the next cost comes under fixed cost, that is interest cost. Interest is calculated on the average investment of the tractor, taking into the consideration the value of tractor in the first and last year. Okay, and the value, the formula for this, I is equal to C plus S divided by 2 into I divided by H. Okay, small I. So here I means, capital I means interest per hour. Okay, and small I means percent rate of interest per year. Okay, now the next cost, that is housing. Okay, housing cost calculated on the basis of prevailing rates in the locality. In general, it may be taken as the initial as the 1% of the initial cost of the tractor per year. Okay, now the next cost, that is insurance. Insurance charge is calculated on the basis of actual payment to the insurance company, and in general it may be taken as 1% of the initial cost of the tractor per year. Now the next cost comes under fixed cost, that is taxes, and taxes is calculated on the basis of the actual taxes paid per year, and in general it may be taken as 2% of the initial cost of the tractor per year. Okay. Now the next point, that is computation of operating cost. Okay, this is second part of the operating cost of the tractor or implement or tool. So first cost, that is fuel cost. It is calculated on the basis of actual fuel consumption in the tractor. Then lubricants, charges for the lubricant should be calculated on the basis of actual consumptions. In general it may be taken as 30 to 35% of the fuel cost. Okay. Then repair and maintenance, it varies from 5 to 10% of the initial cost of the tractor per year. And last one, that is wages, it is calculated on the basis of actual wages of the driver. Now this part is completed here, so thank you for listening. Hello everyone, I am Assistant Professor S.V. Shejare from Agricultural Engineering Department. In last session we learned about different formulas, then different terms related to the calculation of cost of operation of tractor, tools or implements, etc. Okay. Now let's see the problem over that information. So problem number 1, calculate the cost operation of 35 horsepower tractor per hour per HP hour. Okay. Then initial cost of the tractor, that is about 5,50,000 rupees, and life of the tractor is 12 years, and number of working hours are given 12,000 per year. Okay, 1,200 per year. Then interest on the capital is about 15%, and cost of the diesel is rupees 45 per liter, and fuel consumption is 5 liters per hour, and annual wages of the driver is rupees 36,000, okay, per year. Then lubricant cost is about 35% of the fuel cost, and repairs and replacement cost, that is 10% of initial cost. Then housing, taxes, insurance is 1% of each, okay, each of the initial cost. Now the data is given here. Okay. Now let's see the solution. Okay. So first part, that is fixed cost. Okay. Under fixed cost, the first cost, that is depreciation. Okay, we know that formula, D is equal to C minus S divided by L into H. Okay. Now here C. Now the initial cost is 5,50,000 rupees minus 0. The salvage value is not given here, so it is taken as a 0, divided by life of the tractor, that is about 12 years, into working hours per year, that is 1,200. Okay. So by putting all these value, the final answer will be rupees 38.19 per hour. Okay. Now the second cost, that is interest cost. So I is equal to C plus S divided by 2 into I by H. Okay. So by putting all the values, interest rate here is given 15%, it is in percentage, so it is converted into decimals. So 0.15 divided by 1,200, and the answer will be here 34.37 per hour. Okay, rupees, in rupees. Now the third cost, that is housing cost, insurance and taxes, and those are taken as a 1% of capital cost of each, and so here 5,50,000 into 0.01 divided by 1,200. Okay, because we want this cost per hour. Okay, so here total working hours 1,200. Okay, then finally we get the answer in rupees 4.58 per hour each. Okay, so now the total fixed cost per hour, so 38.19, that is depreciation cost, then this is interest cost, so 38.19 plus 37.37, sorry, interest cost is 34.37. after that plus housing cost, then insurance, taxes, that will be 4.58 rupees for each. Okay, so total cost per hour will be in rupees, that is 86.31. Okay, now the next cost, that is operating cost, and under operating cost, first cost, that is fuel cost. Okay, and fuel cost can be calculated by the formula rate of the fuel per liter and fuel consumption per hour. Okay, both values are given. Okay, so 65 into 5, so the answer will be rupees 325 per hour. Okay, now the next cost, that is lubricant cost, and that is taken as 35% of the fuel cost. So total fuel cost is already calculated, that is 325 rupees. So 325 into 0.35, so total cost will be 113.75 per hour. Then repair and replacement cost is equal to 10% of the capital cost. So here calculated by putting all the values, 10% of per hour, we have to calculate all these costs per hour. So here we are going to divide it by 1200. Okay, because those are total working hours. Okay, then the answer will be in rupees, that is 45.83 per hour. Okay, after that wages of the driver, those are already given, that value is already given, that is 36,000 per annum. So we are calculating all the cost per hour, so again we are going to divide this value by 1200. Okay, so that wages of the driver for per hour, that is 30 rupees. Okay, so the total operating cost per hour or variable cost per hour, by adding all these values, we get the final value, that is rupees 514.58. And so total cost of operation per hour, that will be total fixed cost plus total operating cost. So the total is here 600.89. Okay, now the total cost of operation per HP per hour. Okay, so we know that there is a 35 HP horsepower tractor, so total operation cost per hour divided by 35, so the answer will be 70.17. Okay, now so the total cost of operation per HP per hour, this value, then cost of using tractor per hour 600.89. Okay, so we will stop here, this part is completed. So thank you for listening.